Namaste, angels. I'm here to do the daily reading for Tuesday, the 18th, and I'm doing it on Monday, the 17th. Monday, the 17th being a 4 or 11/11, 4/17/1. Um, that made me think when I saw that I had come to freedom in my Ascended Masters deck. 4 is indeed culture, freedom, or culture and freedom in Supreme Math. Culture in Supreme Mathematics or Islam or the 5% nation of gods and earths is one's individual way of life. Freedom is what Islam provides to, its people. Islam is the culture of freedom and righteousness, if that makes any sense. So that's what culture freedom stands for. But when I saw that I had come to this freedom card and knowing that today was indeed a 4 on the day that I'm doing the recording, I thought that might mean something. Also, I'm starting with the Hermit when I get to the angel tarot cards. And I saw the Hermit. It's been popping up every day for the past few days. And the other day when I shuffled to it or something, at the same time that I had been shuffling to White Buffalo, but the peace offering, and also proper burial for freedom, sacrifice to Osiris, I thought about North Korea. To be honest, I didn't say anything, but I decided to say something now since stuff does seem to be kicking up in North Korea, or the universe does seem, United States rather, does seem to be kicking up something at North Korea and or vice versa. I figured I better say something. That could be some of the lives that are lost. It could be over something. And the reason I'm connecting Hermit or the Hermit with North Korea is because North Korea is known as a hermit kingdom. A hermit kingdom is a country that sort of isolates itself from the rest of the world. So I don't know if this has anything, and this may be connected to freedom too. You know, I'm not sure. But on more positive notes, I'm beginning with heart chakra when I use my angel therapy cards, and new love with the romance angels. And I just decided to pull out my butterfly cards at the last minute because with today being a 4, tomorrow's a 5. And yes, that means change and conflict and all that kind of stuff in angel numbers and in numerology. But again, in supreme math, 5s mean power, refinement, or power or refinement, or power and refinement, similar to culture or freedom, or culture and freedom. Power is truth, or the truth is the power that's being referred to when you use the phrase power, refinement, or use the phrase power in supreme math. Talking about the truth. The refinement process is refining of oneself, like by aligning with the truth and it's like the truth is to make oneself, so like it's inferred, true self known to the world. Truth is the power that allows us to refine ourselves. And I had written, read once something that stuck with me on one of the websites, or maybe it was a book or something. I don't really remember. But it was that truth is the power to resurrect the dead from their state of, ignorance and unawareness of themselves. And with having just celebrated the resurrection yesterday, when all these things went rushing through my mind today, as I was just trying to start to do the reading, I figured I better mention them. I've also been having some thoughts about Elijah and Moses. I guess I might as well tell you now before I forget. So Elijah, I've told you guys before, and you can look it up yourself in the scripture to verify if you don't want to hear it from me or believe it from me. Um, Wait, before I tell you that, but speaking of believing stuff from me, a lot of people in general, I saw over the weekend were posting on Facebook and perhaps other social media this picture that was supposedly Ishtar, or Easter, the goddess of fertility, the Babylonian goddess of fertility. That picture, or the person depicted, the being depicted, the statue in that meme is not Easter or Ishtar. It's Lilitu, the owl-footed she demon succubus, and you can Google Lilitu, Lilitu, and click on images, and that same picture will pop up because it's her. You'll see her there with her owl feet and her owls surrounding her and all that. So while the message contained some true information, speaking of truth and power and whatnot, and knowledge of self, yeah, that's not that's not of the true self. That is of a she demon. The story had truth to it, but that picture, no. So I don't know if the purpose, if the person's intent, if they were ignorant and maybe they could use some power refinement, or if their intent was to, have this picture of a demon shared around the world. I'm not sure. But in any case, I want to let you guys know that. But Elijah, he is one of the greatest prophets of all time. And one of the most outstanding and prominent, um, essentially divine masculines of all time as well. He, like the rest of us, as great as he was imperfect, and decided that he did not want to, go any further in his mission. I guess essentially complete his mission. He had done a lot. Um, he was tired. He was tired of being attacked by the dark. The dark pretty much being at that time Jezebel and her husband Ahab and their army. Um, them trying to battle him with their god Baal, which is essentially the devil and all that kind of stuff. And, he had been through this war time and time again. Him and himself, and his god, versus all of them, and won many times. But he was tired. He was old. And I say something similar too. I say, any day, anytime, I'm here. I'm ready. People want to like attack me quietly and anonymously and all kind of. I don't really have time for that. We want to do something. We can do something any day, anytime. Me and my gifts and my God versus you and yours, and I mean that. This Elijah was this way too, and yeah, he just grew tired, and so he sort of debated with God. Um, God didn't just immediately let him out of his contract. It took conversation. Finally, God said, "Okay, I'll let you out of the contract, but you're gonna have to like train Elisha to be in your place." So that became his new mission, and he was able to let the other go. And Elisha completed, the original mission. Similarly, Moses, another one of the most, awesome and greatest prophets of all time, um, and divine masculine of all time, pissed off God in the last minute, kind of. And the punishment was God said, "I'm not going to let you go all the way to them. You're not going to the promised land with these people, although you've led them there." He was imperfect, though, like the rest of us. I say all this to say the fact that I keep thinking of them, um, makes me think, and I guess in some ways just reminds me, like maybe I've been trying to act like it doesn't happen, but I know what the truth is. There will be casualties of this war. Not everybody is going to go to the end. And in some respects, we're like individuals, on the journey. Yes, couples. Um, yes, bound at the soul level by God, and nobody's supposed to break that. Um, but still imperfect humans or humanoids or whatever you consider yourself or know yourself to be. Um, and so some of us do falter and not make it all the way to the end. This is one of the reasons why each of us is required, or we should require of ourselves to commit. And this is why the universe does require of us, God does require of us to become whole on our own before we make the merge. Similar to the stories I read the other day um, from the Talmud, which essentially is the Torah, um, just as it's written in the Bible too, in the book of Romans. Yes, the souls are joined. Yes, they're supposed to come together. Yes, once they realize who they are and that they're joined by God, they're supposed to come together, and don't let anybody destroy that. But unfortunately, it does happen sometimes. So we have to make our goal, our primary goal, like when we're following the instructions and the guidance of King Solomon, for example, in the Ascended Master cards. He says priorities. Look at your priorities. We have to make ourselves, in that respect, the number one priority. After the universe and God, of course. In making ourselves the number one priority, we're making the universe the priority because that's what the universe wants of us. To heal ourselves so that we can join, and then we can join. But the idea is to do ourselves first. Now, all that said, I'm going to move on to the reading because I don't necessarily know why I was supposed to tell you all that. I'm following the guidance. So let's get to the significant events of the day. In the year 1025, this is somebody's name. Boleslaw Chobri is crowned in Gniezno, Gniezno, becoming the first king of Poland. 1506 or 66, the cornerstone of the current St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican is laid. 1775, Paul Revere and William Dawes ride from Charleston to Lexington, warning the regulars are coming. 1783, fighting ceases in the American Revolution, 8 years to the day since it began. 1906, San Francisco earthquake and fire kills nearly 4,000 while destroying 75% of the city. 1954, Colonel Gamal Abdel, somebody named too, and it keeps going. Colonel Gamal Abdel Nasser seizes power and becomes Prime Minister of Egypt. Did you know the first crossword puzzle is published by Simon & Schuster on April 18th in the year 1924? April 18th was my granny's birthday too. The dark-skinned woman with the blue eyes? Yeah, her. Famous birthdays: Samuel P. Huntington, Robert Hansen, James Woods, Nate Archibald, Conan O'Brien, Melissa Joan Hart. Famous weddings: 1599. What is wrong with me today? Valencia Archduke Albert of Austrian marries Isabella of Spain. 1951, cartoonist Charles M. Schulz, 28, weds Joyce Halverson. 1956, Grace Kelly marries Prince Rainier III of Monaco in a civil ceremony. 1973, which is 74 or 11, American science fiction writer Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Philip K. Dick marries his fifth wife, Leslie Tessa Busby. 1992, tennis ace Stefan Edberg marries Annette Olsen in Sweden. 1994, Roseanne Barr Arnold files for divorce from Tom Arnold. Famous deaths: Albert Einstein, Thor Heyerdahl, and Dick Clark. Dick Clark was really or truly named Richard Wagstaff Clark, And he was American, a radio and television personality. He's famous because he was best known for hosting American Bandstand from 1957 to 1987, so 30 years. He also hosted the game show Pyramid and Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. I would pray every year, please don't let Dick Clark die. Like, he would make it, he would be sick before Christmas, and then would be leading into it. And I'd be like, please don't let Dick Clark die in New Year's time or Christmas time. That would just be horrible. Um, and thankfully, he never did. Um, but he did pass on April 18th. He was the host of that Rockin' Eve show, which transmitted Times Square's New York's Eve celebrations, and was well known for his trademark sign-off, "For now, Dick Clark, so long," accompanied by a military salute. He was born on November 20th in 1929 and was a Scorpio from Mount Vernon, New York, USA. He died on April 18th in 2012 at the age of 82 of a heart attack. Thor Heyerdahl is Norwegian or was Norwegian and an archaeologist and explorer. Heyerdahl caught the public's attention with his daring and spectacular expeditions, increasing public interest in archaeology and in ancient history. My mother majored in archaeology in college. On his 1947 expedition on Kon-Tiki, Heyerdahl and 5 fellow adventurers demonstrated that long-distance ocean voyages in ancient boat designs were possible. In the Kon-Tiki, Heyerdahl sailed 8,000 kilometers or 5,000 miles across the Pacific Island in a hand-built raft from South America to the Tuamotu Islands in French Polynesia. The success of the expedition demonstrated how ancient people could have sailed large distances in simple watercraft to colonize the remote and widely dispersed Pacific Islands. He was born on October 6th in 1914 and was a Libra from Larvik, Norway. He died on April 18th in 2002 at the age of 87 of a brain tumor. Lastly, in the deaths, Albert Einstein was German and a theoretical physicist. A Jewish-born German, later naturalized as a U.S. citizen, Einstein became the most influential physicist of the 20th century. He developed his special theory of relativity in response to problems he saw with Newtonian mechanics. His mass-energy equivalence formula, E equals mc squared, has been called the world's most famous equation. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921 and later warned President Roosevelt of the dangers of bombs being developed, later protesting against their use as weapons. He was very, very humanitarian. He spoke at the college that I attended, Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. He's obviously in his day, not while I was there, which is an all-black university, by the way. He spoke there. He did a lot of humanitarian work that's not spoken of very much. And for those of you who are out there thinking that, you have some sort of learning disability or what I prefer to call learning difference or something, and you can't get to where you want to be, he got all D's in school. He got all D's in school. He was flunking out. He was horrible because he was different. He learned differently. He applied concepts differently. And not only differently, it turns out better than everybody else. So don't give up on yourself. He was born on March 14th, which is a special day. What is March 14th? I don't know, but it's a special day. I have to think. In 1879, he was a Pisces from Ulm, German Empire, and he died on April 18th in 1955 at the age of 76. The cause of death was abdominal aortic aneurysm. Oh, March 14th is Pi Day. That's what it's 3/14. It's Pi Day. Pi is in math, I guess to speak of Einstein and science and math and being a geek, it's Pi Day. Going up to the birthdays, Melissa Joan Hart is American and an actress. She's known for her title roles in television series Clarissa Explains It All, the live-action version of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Melissa and Joey. She was born on April 18th in 1976 and is 41 years old, an Aries from Smithtown, New York, USA. Conan O'Brien is American and a TV host. He's famous for The Simpsons, Late Night with Conan O'Brien. He was born on April 18th in 1963 and is 54 years old, and Aries from Brookline, Massachusetts, USA. Nate Archibald is American and an NBA point guard. He spent 14 years playing in the NBA and was a willing passer and an adequate shooter from mid-range. Best was known for his quickness and his speed that made him difficult to guard in the open court. He is the only player to lead the league in scoring and assists in the same season. He was born on April 18th in 1948 and is 69 years old, and Aries from New York City, New York, USA. James Woods is American and an actor. He's famous for Once Upon a Time in America and Casino. He played the sleazy boyfriend. He was born on April 18th in 1947 and is 70 years old, and Aries from Vernal, Utah, USA. Sharon Stone's sleazy boyfriend, of course. Robert Hansen is 73 years old. He too is American. He's an FBI agent and a Soviet spy. He was an FBI agent who spied for Soviet and Russian intelligence services against the United States for 22 years, master number 22. His activities have been described by the U.S. Department of Justice's Commission for Review of FBI Security Programs as possibly the worst intelligence disaster in U.S. history. He was born on April 18th in 1944 and is 73 years old, and Aries from Chicago, Illinois, USA. Shit, I thought they put people to death for stuff like that. Espionage and treason. I guess, I don't know. Lastly, Samuel P. Huntington is American and a political scientist and presidential advisor. He's famous for his 1993 theory, The Clash of Civilizations, which argued that future wars would be fought not between countries, but between cultures, and that Islam would become the biggest obstacle to Western domination of the world. Well, he was right. Maybe this is another reason why I started talking about Islam today. I don't know. Anyway, though he's widely discredited, Huntington and the Clash of Civilizations theory helped to shape the worldview of many U.S. politicians, academics, and citizens. Huntington was also a policy advisor to U.S. Presidents Lyndon B. Johnson and Jimmy Carter. He was born on April 18th in 1927, which is 499, right? And was an Aries from New York City, New York, USA. He died on December 24th in the year 2008 at the age of 81, which is also 9. I don't know why he's widely discredited with a theory that argued that wars would become about culture as opposed to countries. I think that's true. Anyway, was he the last? He sure was. Let's get to it. Going to the dice, beginning with romantic dinner. Forget it. And cocktail. Spirit says, eat cake after the romantic dinner, which may follow sex. They keep showing me this sex too. And it's 50-50, so I guess it could go either way. You could end up having dinner or having sex or both. Or none, I guess, which would be unfortunate. All right, so going back to this general reading, beginning with the Angel Tarot and the Hermit, which again, on a global scale, may have something to do with North Korea. On a more local to the light being and perhaps even more local divine union community, this can be about introspection, looking within, perhaps keeping to oneself for a time. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, and self-discovery. Opening to unity, which is also a card about teaching and learning, with Archangel Sandalphon. Both of the suit of earth, by the way. The Hermit is known to be a Virgo in the tarot and can also represent Capricorn and Taurus. And unity is a Taurus in the tarot. It can also represent Virgo and Capricorn. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like minded friends. This card is also about commitment, higher institutions like college. But yeah, teaching and learning in a more, philosophical sense too, metaphorical sense. Introspection as well, similar to the Hermit, learning about oneself, and about surrounding oneself with people of a similar vibration to their own or better, higher. Unity back, opening to the Five of Air, conflict, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. This Five of Air or Five of Air tends to be, for me, not only conflict, but conflict in which we ourselves had a hand, whether it was inadvertent or on purpose or what, intentional, whatever the case was, we were involved in some way. Unity is back, and I'll go one more. It's the Nine of Air. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. This is about, insomnia caused by overthinking and like paranoia, basically. Unity back. I'm going to cut. And it's the Chariot, which can be about moving, like physically moving to a new home, a new job, a new home because of a new job, moving from place to place. Or it can be about moving in a more metaphorical sense, like moving on, moving up, ascending even. It can also be about travel, transportation, modes of transportation, your car, maybe a delay in your plane, all these kind of things. It's also about victory, I guess in its most positive form. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. Represents the sign of Cancer or other water signs, Pisces, Scorpio. And I started the reading talking about Lilitu. Lilitu also a Cancer. So that can be another meeting potentially for us. However, our overall energy is the most super awesome card in the tarot, believed to be, at least by many. It's the Sun with Archangel Uriel, whose name means God's light, so that is awesome. There's not much better than that. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. The masculine is the Six of Air. Things are looking up. The end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. Again, maybe this is why the Chariot came through. Travel, taking a trip, vacation. Surrounded by the Eight of Air. An illusion of being trapped. A lack of self-confidence. Being afraid to take action. Those masculine who feel bound to something or someone, someplace. Could be a job, could be a relationship, could be a romantic situation. Could be like, a failed marriage or something. Feeling trapped there, stuck. Could be with, in your parents' house or in your kid's house. All kinds of scenarios. And in his subconscious, thinking about renewal or judgment with Archangel Jeremiah, and this making its way up. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction with regard to work. Judgment being about the boss having a watchful eye on you. It's your time. And that could be what somebody's feeling trapped to, maybe a lack of finances or something. That's a possibility. That the boss has an eye on you and he wants to give you a raise, wants to give you a promotion, wants to give you a bonus, something like that. Maybe that could be another reason why the Chariot showed up. Why the Chariot showed up. The victory, the promotion, the finally moving forward, moving up in the world with a promotion or something. In the general sense, this can be about being judgmental, either on yourself or other people, a combination of those. And the need to be watchful about that. with regard to relationships, romantic or otherwise. I mean, this can be your friends too, or people that you thought were your friends, frenemies. It's like a make or break moment. It's a come to Jesus moment where you decide what are we doing from, like where are we going from here, if anywhere, what are we doing, um, what's up, basically. It's certainly a place where a lot of us find ourselves in, along the journey in the romantic sense, in and out of separation, come to a point, every now and then where it's just like, what are we doing? What's happening right now? That's judgment. A lot of air today. It's the ace of air on the feminine side, crowning the feminine. Ace of air representing the signs of Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Brilliant new ideas and inspiration, seeing the truth of a situation. So maybe getting back to that power refinement of this day. Power is truth. We're getting to the power of the situation, the truth of the situation. That can lead to a challenging beginning because somebody may need some refinement. Somebody might not be living right or righteous, and they may need to get themselves together. Surrounded by the Nine of Water, your wish comes true. Concerns fade away, and you have a love of life. This is the yes of the Minor Arcana, a wish card. Prayers answered, wishes granted. Another nine in our subconscious is the Nine of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment also. This is a card of liking oneself, loving oneself, enjoying spending time and being with oneself. Which is awesome because, again, to get back to power refinement, to get back to culture freedom, I was saying that all has to do with knowledge of self and improving of oneself, refining oneself. All that can be done while we're spending time being the Nine of Earth. So this is probably why this came to mind today, especially truth here and refinement here. Okay, there's your power and your refinement. And maybe it's something you've been praying for. Maybe it's been something you've been wishing for. It's finally coming to you now. The union is crowned by the Page of Earth, scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters. Also wanting to do something more challenging, and maybe even a new area of study. This could be why the Hierophant showed up here before, or the Unity card with Archangel Sandalphon. That's the Hierophant, or the High Priest. Again, about higher institutions, maybe going to college or studying some other sort of vocation. Maybe it's metaphorical today for us. And again, learning about oneself. Knowledge of self. That may be a theme today. At the root, it's the Emperor with Archangel Michael. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. The Emperor represents the sign of Aries or other fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius. I'll get back to that. Feeling some stuff about those two being connected. And crossing renewal or judgment, which again I said about work has to do with the boss keeping a watchful eye on you. The time for you to not slack off. Be mindful of the fact that the boss probably has an eye on you and keep up the good work. Even if you've been waiting for a while and that's why you're feeling trapped and that's why you've been having sleepless nights, you've been up all night, like, when are they going to give me this damn raise? I need to pay these bills. Don't let that bring you down to the point where you slack off. Because now we have the Three of Earth, not only at the heart of the matter, but crossing judgment. So it's like double that energy of the boss is watching you, your promotion's coming, and then to have it crowned by the Page of Earth, which is news, good news with regard to finances. Your abundance is on its way. Don't give up and let go of this sort of mentality. Free yourself of this. Refine yourself of this. The next card is upright. I don't know what's wrong. I'm like all tongue tied today. Let's use it for this, as a matter of fact. What I just say. Your day is coming. The Wheel with Archangel Michael. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. So yeah, you've been sitting around. You've been worried. This guy is lying. He said he was going to give me a raise. It hasn't come yet. Where is the truth? I want to move on. I want to move up. I'm ready for my promotion. I'm ready for my abundance. It's not coming. And so I'm feeling bound, and maybe I'm staying up all night. I have insomnia. Don't do that. continued faith, because we are going to reach that 3 where we do the manifesting. The next card is upside down, so I won't take any more, but I was about to get greedy. I'm going to move on to the romance cards, beginning with new love. I remember we have the overall energy of the sun, so we knew that the outcome was going to be good anyway. But now here to have the wheel clarifying where we were worried, that says no worries. I've just opened from new love to reconciliation. So it can be for some, love anew. Someone from your past is returning to your life. For others, it can be what is new to you in this lifetime, but someone from your past, in another sense, they're from a past life that you never met them before. You're about to meet your divine partner. How about open to deception? Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Someone needs some power refinement. Reconciliation back, opening to true love. New love, now true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. And to have the true love opposite the reconciliation is awesome. Reconciliation back, and now opening to make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And that may be for you particularly masculine, because you're the one that's sitting here with the judgment card. And it's here diagonal to the ace of air. It may be that you need to come forward with some truth, or it may be that you need to demand some truth in order to decide where it is we go from here. Reconciliation back, and honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This is another message, I think, that for some, their reconciliation is not coming until the honeymoon in June. And I'll tell you why. Not just because I'm seeing this card, because I was already feeling it and I wasn't going to say. But now I have a 6 here for June. I have the 10 here with the wheel. The wheel represents the planet Jupiter. It's Jupiter that is in retrograde that ends on 6-9. Also, the full moon, the honeymoon, is in Sagittarius, which Jupiter rules. All of these things tell me, that big reconciliations are happening on June 9th because of the honeymoon and because of the end of the Jupiter retrograde, on or around June 9th, maybe the 10th for some, thereabouts. And now having the honeymoon open opposite reconciliation is where I'm getting all this from. And of course, this is pure intuition because the cards say nothing about any of this. Reconciliation back. I'm going to cut. Or pure gifts, I should say, not just intuition. Pure psychic gifts. Unadulterated. And now coming to soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So a lot of really awesome, beautiful cards and beautiful energies in both in the spread and in the shuffling thus far. So let's see what else we get. Wow. Overall energy is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So perhaps for some who don't actually come into this contact with the soulmate or, divine partner right now, for some, what you're doing on Tuesday, whether you realize it or not, or I'm here to tell you that you are, is in fact calling in the soulmate. You're drawing them in. Your actions, behaviors, words, everything now, affecting what happens in, let's say June for you. Let's put one there and one there to see how the three, in this case, relates in terms of love. And you know what? Let's check out the Emperor too. Maybe even the Ace of Air. What kind of truth? What's this truth going to be about? All right. So here, what we're adding to, or we're clarifying the Eight of air with and the wheel is keep an open mind. Okay. Your soulmate, this is the third mention of soulmate in this one little spread here, may differ from your usual type and expectations. Also, keep an open mind, even though it appears maybe that you're not coming together, that you will in the not so distant future. Even if you, for those who do have to wait till June, that's not that far off anymore. It's about one full month, and what, 2-3 weeks maybe, and then it'll be June 9th. Keep an open mind. Here atop the Ace of Air, you know what? If you put the truth out, the truth will come back to you, and it'll set us all free. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully, but also this card of being about the law of attraction. So, we want victory, we want truth, we want all these things, we want good vibes. That's what we have to put those out, and then we'll get them back. Here atop Judgment, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So this is your make or break moment, and we got to figure out something. We got to, get on the same page and decide, how we're going to move from here, if at all. We got to put the effort in to do that. Atop the Emperor. Ooh, I had a feeling this is why I wanted to do this. It's that overbearing fire energy. Yeah. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So this is that energy that's been surrounding some of us for quite some time, actually. And probably what I felt the other day in the love reading. I said, for some, I don't feel that this energy is a negative one. The mature man that was here on the masculine side in this position, like the present position, I said, but I'm getting the planet Mars is coming through with regard to it. And the planet Mars rules Aries, and, is connected, associated with the Emperor. So I think, again, since it was for some, since that energy was a negative one, an overbearing one, and perhaps one from which we needed to depart, that coming through again still for some. A fire energy from which you need to walk away. And at the heart of the matter, atop the Three of Earth, wedding. This situation involves marriage. He needs the money. That's the thing. He needs the money to do. There's a particular way he's trying to do this. As we saw in the weekly reading, he's trying to come correct. Remember I said, he's like, I'm getting this message, like, don't limit the manner in which I'm coming back, because you can't even imagine how it's going to be, which is awesome. All right, let's get some more advice. These cards made me smile today too, because I had heart chakra opposite Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael, of course, sort of the patron of the heart chakra. The answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. And opening to visualize success. Sort of like what's here, attraction atop the Ace of Air. See yourself doing well in this situation and have faith in the positive outcome. Heart chakra back, opening to cut your cords. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Can certainly be another reason why the Ace of Air is here too. Cut your cords now at the bottom, and opening to third eye chakra. It's safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. Third eye chakra back. I'm going to cut. You are a powerful light worker. It's safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings great blessings in loving service to the divine. And the overall energy is crown chakra. Pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. Ascended masters now, beginning with freedom and Hina, and opening to Ocean and drink more water. That's for the ascension, for the moving up in that sense. Freedom is back, opening now to clear and shield your energy, which those of you on my Facebook know I've been talking about quite a bit today. Clear and shield your energy is back, and opening now to energy healing with Merlin. Clear and shield your energy. And lastly, teacher, which may still be coming through because of Jesus in John 13:13. You call me Lord and teacher, and it is right for you to do that because that is who I am. I'll go one more, and it's Queen Oshun again. So on this note, I'll cut off this. Clear and shield your energy. And it's father, husband, brother, son with Osiris. There's a masculine energy with which, and it can be our own, and internally. We saw this over the weekend with the collective weekly readings, the love and the general. Some masculine energies with whom we need to heal a relationship, and it can be our own inner masculine. Overall energy is focus upon your strengths with Apollo. And last, my last minute butterfly deck. Taking them out of the box to spiritual growth. And opening to body changes. Back to the gym in an effort to, become whole on our own. Like regardless of what the divine masculine or divine feminine is doing. Body changes back. Opening to religion and spirituality. Body changes yet again. And opening to moving. Which, like all the other ways and times I said it with regard to the Six of Air, with regard to the Chariot, can be about moving up, moving on, literally moving from place to place, as in like a new home or something. Movement, of a situation suddenly moves forward, sort of like with the wheel. All of those. Body changes now at the bottom. I'm going to cut. Get some rest. So this probably goes to the ascension as well, similar to the drink water. It can be very draining and tiring, and we need to lay down too. And then all of that goes toward the self-care and Nine of Earth, perhaps power refinement. And this is our overall energy for this deck. Okay, and from the butterflies, masculine emotions are taking over. You may be caught up in sorrow. How does that song go? It's okay to be in touch with your inner feminine too, even though we didn't pull that card today. And get in touch with your emotion. Allow them, whatever they are, allow them to come out, even if it's some of this like overbearing air, whatever you have to deal with. Just allow it to be free. It's all part of the delayering process. Whatever you feel you need to go through, just let it out. Feminine, gracefully aging. This is about some of us maturing and changing our behavior and, not popping off, as they say, as quickly and not jumping to conclusions as quickly and, all about becoming whole on our own. That theme remaining. Going to the Ascended Masters, masculine purification. So this is about taking the sword or making the judgment call, or, dispensing with unrequited love, people who don't really care for you. This is about purifying your lives of that type of energy. And the need for you to get to it. Because you keep getting that message. Feminine, Saint Germain says, work your magic. Yeah, just do your thing. Whether it's getting back to the gym, whether it's, because the cards are on your side here with the Ace of Air and victory, the Nine of Water, prayers answered, wishes granted, the Nine of Earth, you liking yourself, you enjoying spending time on your own. This is the time for you to shine, feminine. Masculine, similar for you. Visualize success. See yourself doing well in this situation, whether it's moving on, moving up, getting a promotion at the job, cutting somebody off, whatever the case is. See yourself doing well in the situation. Have faith in a positive outcome, and you will indeed have one. Feminine, release with Archangel Michael. Work with him to let go of what no longer serves you, okay, or your purpose. Use this sword from the Ace to cut away at what no longer serves you or your purpose. You may have, and an unrequited love issue as well, with this being here at the root, shared by both. Masculine, you have a desire to move yet again. Here comes this word move. This is about moving on, moving up, ascending, all of that stuff. A desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. So you're changing your focus, masculine, from to you. Getting back to what I talked about in the beginning. I often don't know why I'm saying some of the stuff that I say, but now I do. Getting back to why I talked about in the beginning, this is about becoming whole on our own so that we can come together and meet, not just somewhere in the middle, but somewhere really awesome in the middle here with this wedding energy, this, commitment, true love, true commitment. Feminine, strength. We've got the strength to get through whatever it is, if it's cutting somebody off, dealing with this unrequited love and healing this situation. Maybe it's a different masculine in our lives. Maybe it's, again, our inner self and we've been fighting ourselves or something. Because this is more fire energy here with the energy of strength. This card represents the sign of Leo or other fire sign like Aries, like Sagittarius. Great inner strength. Release. So here's this word release again. This message again for the feminine. Release. Release harsh judgments. So maybe we've been judgmental, feminine. We got to stop that if we have. And instead extend some forgiveness and compassion. From the romance angels, feminine, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And lastly, to the masculine, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Whether that's now, tomorrow, June 9th, whenever that is for you. It's soon. Namaste, angels.